Lately, I've been reading that a lot of people are struggling, especially on Helldive, with the latest patch. But I'm going to show you today that it is possible to beat Helldive missions, especially against the bugs, with only actually 2 people, if you play it right and have, well, decent gear and knowledge. So without further ado, let me show you how to beat a Helldive mission with only 2 people with the right equipment. Well, it looks like we got to do a Helldive and allow the shuttles to refuel, so this one's going to be tough. So I'm going to try and land this pretty safely up here. For my main stuff, I'm bringing the scout perk so I can try to do objectives while my buddy tries to live the best as he can. I have an SMG to deal with things that charge me, another SMG for my close range, impact grenade, and then for my stratagems, I'm going to go bring some pretty heavy firepower, so the machine gun. I'm going to resupply myself. I'm also going to bring a 500 kilogram so I can kill any big bile titans. And then for the little guys to help out, I'm going to bring gas strike, because that will kill a lot of little things at once and do damage over time, even on big things. And once we land, we're going to look around to make sure there's no bugs that can bug breach right away. And if we feel like we're safe, which we're not, we're going to run away from this. We're going to run so we don't aggro that, and then we're going to supply ourselves. So now that we're supplied, we're going to do our best to kind of get to the first objective before we aggro anything. I see a horrible charger down there, so the first thing I'm going to do is throw a stealth kilogram bomb, and then I'm going to lay down so they don't see me. And hopefully that also takes out the charger. It might not, because the kilogram bomb is, it can be good and can be bad at the same time. It lives. It's wounded though, so it should bleed out. So I'm going to try and kill a lot of these little guys. The name of the game right here is avoid bug breaches as much as possible. So do whatever you have to do that one, but just try not to aggro literally everything, unless it comes from behind. No! So I'm going to throw gas right in the center here and try to lure them in there as best as we can. There's still a charger that's left alive, but I'm going to go for a lot of these other ads, and then we'll deal with this charger. I'm just going to kite him a little bit. Let him bleed out while that happens too. We're going to prevent any further bug breaches right now by killing the ads. The reason why I have this SMG is because the hunters are very quick. It reloads very fast, has a good rate of fire, and you can really help yourself and your buddy out. So now that we have the majority of it taken out, bug breaches are dealt with, and there's nothing in the area, we can start doing the objective. We did get the objective, so all we have to do now is really kind of hold this off or escape. So we're going to choose primarily to escape so the bug breach doesn't get worse and worse. Try to regroup with me. We're going to make our way all the way up top and avoid most of the bug holes and get to the next fuel station. The main thing here also is really not to get greedy, especially if you're just playing with 2 people or people you don't know, because if you start getting greedy, that's when everyone's going to start losing lives and you're not making it out. So I spotted a stalker. I'm going to lure it back to me, and we are more than likely going to have to find that stalker nest, but it's going to come my way, so I'm just getting ready with the big machine gun. If not, it's going to head to my buddy over there. I'm just hoping that it doesn't spot us, but it did, so we'll just blow them away. That's why we bring the firepower. This might be the stalker nest right here. I'm not sure. It kind of looks pretty stalkerish. It is the stalker nest, so I'm going to kill the stalker that popped out of it. You have one behind you also. It might have 2 nests.
Of course there was one that ganked me from behind, that stalkers do.
But yeah, there's definitely 2 nests because there's another stalker that popped up. So I'm going to try and get out of here as best as we can. I'm going to throw in another gas strike, so if you want to do your best to get out of there, we'll throw in here. So once again, even though we're bug breached by this location, we want to get away from it, because even if a bile titan and whatnot spawns, you can avoid fighting it if you're smart about it, because one bug breach can lead to a next bug breach. So if you just stick around in the same area, that's an instant death sentence. Alright, so while he's pulling aggro with the big battle mech right now, I'm going to get to the objective as best I can. Now the goal here is going to be quick elimination, and we don't want to pull too much aggro. Here, take your pack back. Yeah, they call it a breach. We're going to get away from here just a little bit, because now we're going to have a couple of bile titans. And what I'm going to do is lure the bile titans away from this objective, because we don't want it to get worse and worse. And what I'm going to do is throw my kilogram bomb here. And even if they kill me, they're going to be stuck right here, and it should go off and kill the both of them. Alright, so now we're going to clean up the rest of these guys. We don't want any more bug breaches, and then we should be able to start this primary objective. So in fact, while my buddy has a lot of them away from the objective, I'm going to go start it. So now I'm going to move around the objective and unblock all the stuff. My buddy's going to continue to fight them off. And because I have the scout perk, this is what's enabling me to do this one. So he's still pulling aggro. I'm just going to let him know that I see a stalker in the area, so I'm fighting off a stalker right now. So that means they have another nest that we're going to have to take care of. I'm going to kill any of these little ones I can. Yeah, we're going to get another breach in a second. I'm going to call in some more gas on them. And I'm going to lure them once again away from the objective that we're working on. There's another stalker back by the objective that we're going to have to deal with. The stalker's by the last thing that we need to unblock right now. And it's having kind of like an episode, so I'm just going to go ahead and light it up. Alright, so he's going to turn that. There's no use doubling up on the objective. I'm going to run backwards and hit the button. And then we're going to get out of here as quickly as we can. And hopefully we can avoid that last little battalion right there. We can. So let's just get out of here while that finishes up. There's another stalker right behind you.
Pull this way, drifting and go left.
Now we're on the final part of the objective right now. So we just don't want to pull any more aggro and just let them kind of chill there. If they come too close to me, I will fire. But right now, we're kind of safe. The scout perk makes them confused, like they hear me, but they feel like they can't see me, and I'm able to kind of get away. You'll notice that they're going in that last location, so we're good. So now we have to go all the way down to the final one, which is unfortunately one of the hardest ones, but if we clear it out in time from a distance, then we usually won't have to worry about anything too bad. So right now we seem to be running into a meteor storm, so I'm going to find a nice little mountainside that's kind of like angled. That should block it from me. If you look up to the sky, you can figure out what angle it's coming from. If it's coming from directly above you, you need to find better shelter. If it's coming from an angle, always go out in the opposite angle of the mountain and just kind of hang out there for a little bit. If you have the time, you know, obviously, if you only have a minute to do the objective, do what you have to, but right now, we're kind of safe. So that should be the end of the storm. Always look up to make sure there's no extra ones. Just because the bar is gone doesn't mean there aren't more ice comets coming down on you. And we're going to walk the way that we cleared before, so we avoid any additional nests. There's another elite pack over there, but we might be able to avoid them just by going straight up to this. I'm kind of crouched right now, so I don't aggro either side. Oh man, there's a terrible nest on our left. Jesus.
I know.
So this is another thing to point out is there is obviously a stealth mechanic in the game, so use it. You don't always have to just run around and wondering, why did those enemies see me? They saw you because you're running around like a goober. Now we know that this nest is nearby, so we don't want to cause too much commotion. But once we do this main objective, of course, it's going to start it. So you want one person kind of up top doing this one, the other person kind of somewhat near there. You just need to separate in this one, of course. You cover each other, but if a stalker comes, the person up top is always going to be the one to help fight him off. And while he is looking to stealth, I'm just looking in the ways that we came just to make sure nothing else is on our way. So he's unblocked it. I'm going to go do my thing. And now he's going to move his way up to here and start that up. It has to come 3 times, so we should be fine. Now my job is pretty simple here, is to look but not basically shoot at everything I see. My job is to ascertain if the threat is close enough to attack. Like right now I see this group here, so I can decide, are they actually coming in this base? And if they are, can I hide and can my buddy hide right now? So that's what I'm doing. You'll notice I'm just kind of letting these ones go. I'm going to point out where they're coming from, but I'm not going to just start shooting right away because you do not want a bug breach here. This is a very bad spot to get bug breached. I'm just going to hide next to this guy that definitely has a head. So they're in the base now, so now I know that I will have to fire. So I'm going to do some impact grenades first, because that can kill the lot of them. And then I'm going to just clean up to make sure no bug breaches happen. Unfortunately, there was one little gremlin guy that did bug breach, so this is going to be kind of tough here. What we're going to do is throw gas strike out here first, and I'm going to try and get away from this as far away as possible. And I'm going to start pulling aggro in this direction, so at the very least my buddy might be able to hold them off. And right now I'm using like all the buildings and staircases to my advantage just to keep them in the zone. I'm going to reload while I can because it looks like they're just kind of stuck there. And then any chance I can help my buddy out, I have to do it. So all we have to do now is release the fuel pump, so I'm going to help him clean this stuff up while he finishes up the objective. And that's why I chose multiple guns that have machine gun mode. So now, when I'm out of that one, I switch to this one, so on and so forth. So now, we just did the final objective. So the main thing is extracting. So if you're just looking to beat it and get medals, this is the quick way to do it. But if you want to get shot in the head by your friend, that's also a quick way to do it. So right now we technically have no more respawns. We're going to get another one in about a minute and a half. And the thing is, you're going to die on a Helldive mission. It just is what it is. If you have 4 people, you can run it where you get more respawns. There's a Bio Titan coming at us, so we're just going to avoid him. And we're just going to go down this way and avoid that base also. And we have a nice meteor storm and nowhere to hide. So this is rough. We're just basically in a free run here. I'm looking up to make sure I don't get slammoed, but he's got to pray to the Game Master Joel that doesn't choose you today. So it looks like we're outrunning the meteor storm at the very least. We're going to a zone that's not it. So just keep that in mind. The whole map doesn't always have a meteor storm on it. So this is the extraction. I'm going to call in the first resupply. And in this instance, I was able to save my Patriot for the very end if you were able to have one. So I'm going to call it in here just to really help. But my main thing right now is to get over here and call in the extraction. So unfortunately, they'll give us a 4-minute extraction because Joel loves us. He's such a good, nice person to us. But it's okay. My buddy has a turret that he put out. I'm going to get in this thing and try to hold him off as best I can in the front. There's a nice bio boy. I'm going to start hitting him with some rockets here. That gets rid of him. I think 3 or 2 in the face can actually take it out. And I'm going to go support his gun over here. I'm going to take out any chargers or big boys that I see. And what I want to happen is if they are going to bug breach, I want them to bug breach way away from the base. I don't want them to be anywhere inside the main objective. And what I'm doing is I'm using this one just to create like funnel choke points that either I can just machine gun them a ton or like one rocket can take care of a lot of them. So I don't want to, spread myself too thin here. And the thing is, if we can really deal with these bug breaches and they have no one else left, then we're going to get some free moments where they're not going to be able to call anything near us. All right, so I'm out of ammo in my mech. I noticed another Bile Titan, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this in the choke point, and that at least gives us some area that we can run away from. I'm just looking to see if he's going to come our way. It looks like he will, so I'm going to throw out a gas bomb in the front also to slow them down. And we still have another minute and 35 seconds to extract because once again, I'm going to call in a backup supply pack that will actually give us double the supply. So if you're ever out of that, double the supplies that way. Bile Titan's coming pretty close, so he's going to get stuck on that. I'm going to reinforce that also with 2 kilogram bombs. That's why I like putting that thing there, because it doesn't know what to do. So as you can see, 2 kilogram bombs and a 1 Bile Titan that's not moving doesn't kill it. And people yell at me why I put it in the F tier. Oh, and look, Joel loves us again, is doing a meteor shower on our extraction. That's so nice. So right here, you need to just survive as best as you can. I'm trying to go for some of the little guys so my buddy doesn't get swarmed because the charger looks like it's in love with him. And what you can do is one person can back out away and run around, just especially if you only have 1 reinforcement left, and take a new flank position. That way you guys both don't get the exact same zone. So we have 10 Senskins left. I'm going to run to the front over here. So my buddy just got hit by a meteor. I'm going to call him way away over there. And I'm just going to lure them away. Since I know my guy's coming in a drop pad, I'm going to lure a lot of the stuff this way. And now that the Pelican will come here, our main job is to just extract. So he's going to go first. I'm going to bring these guys in front of my Pelican's gun so they can shoot. And then I'm just in a mad dash to the end. No need to reload here, nothing. I'm just going to take a nice safe zone just like this. And here we go. That's how you beat a Helldive mission against bugs with 2 people. So I don't want to hear complaints that you can't do it.
You have maintained our way of life.
Well, my friends, this was us beating a Helldive mission with only 2 people after the post patch. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you want to see us do this again against the bots? Also let us know down below. And if you are new to downloadable content, why not consider subscribing? It's free. Click the big subscribe button down below and join up. I will greatly appreciate it. But other than that, I'm Drifter from Downloadable Content, and I will see you next time.